Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to be installing this wheel skin. It's kind of the steering wheel cover that goes over the top, and it's really important to know that you put this over the existing one. If you try to take off the old cover, then the steering wheel is too small, and so make sure that you put it on around the existing steering wheel cover. And so this is what it looks like old. You can see how nasty this is. It's had its day. So we're going to go ahead and take you through this step by step. Okay, so go ahead and remove it from the package, and you'll see one line down the center of the steering wheel, and we're going to put that at the bottom. If you have two lines, you're going to line it up in two different spots, but in this case it has a single line on the bottom, so we're going to line it up and we're going to stretch the skin over it. Now, it will be pretty tight, and you just want to make sure that you have it even all the way around the steering wheel, because as you sew it together, it needs to be even all the way around. So get it as even as you can, and you can even pull it out here and measure it on each side if you want, but we want to make sure that that is nice and straight and even all the way around, and then we're going to go ahead and start sewing. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to unwind it. So here's our thread. Keep our needle here. Now we want to unwind this completely and take out any knots that are in it. If you have a friend, have them just walk away with it. We want to make sure that it's completely straight with no knots or kinks in it at all. Okay, so we're going to thread the needle through here, and we're going to go about 6 inches on this side with all the rest of it going out the other side. Okay, so we're going to start like this. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is where we're first going to come in, and we're going to come in from the back side of that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to pull this through, and we're going to pull the entire string up until we have about 6 inches left. So right about there, that's where we're going to end it. Okay, so now we're going to count 1, and sometimes these are hard to see from the back side, but you want to make sure that we're doing 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so right where my finger is here, there's actually a hole. It's kind of hard to see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're lined up, and we're gonna pull it through on this side now. Okay, now we can only tighten one stitch at a time, so you want to be real careful with this. The first one might be a little loose because we still have this end. Okay, so we went through hole number 4 on each side. Now we're going to come back over the top and come into number 3. Okay, so we came out this side. Now we're going to go back over the top and through the opposite hole. I just want you guys to see this a few times so you get the process down. That's what you're doing 90% of the time. So it really helps to have one person holding the loose end on this side while you run the needle through and pull it good and tight. And then we're also using the old stitching as a center line to keep this straight. But as you can see, we're just working our way all the way through here, and you're always going from the back side over the top and back through the back side, over the top, to the back side, over the top. Now once you arrive to one of the spokes here, we have to do what's called a dummy stitch, where we're basically going to thread it through the front holes only, and we're going to skip the back ones. So you're going to count how many that you've gone through dummy style, and then you're going to skip that number of ones on the back side and then pick up where you left off. Okay, so for the dummy stitch now, we're still going to go up over the front, but instead of going through the back side of the other side of it, we're just coming through the back side of the front one. And then it's going to keep that same look. So we're going over the front side and back through the back. So you're always stitching through the back side of the cover. Now you can just count how many dummy stitches you did, or if you want to count the threads at this point, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna skip. So 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19. So you want to go through 19, right? So now I need to go through your 19th position where you have it back there. Okay. If you want to thread that through number 19. So we're still on the same number of holes this way. Okay, so right here, this is the stitch that you're going to want to watch and tighten up as much as you can. So since these are all dummies right here, what we did is we pulled this as tight as we could, and we kind of continued to tighten each of these to the most that we could, and now we're back at the top pulling it tight again. And we already went through the back side of our number 19 hole is what it happened to add up at. And so now we're just continuing on pulling tight and going through the back side of each of these holes. Okay, so he's holding this super tight here while I bring it through the front again, or through the back side of the front. And this is gonna help us get it nice and tight around to get started again. Make sure that it's tight. So now we're gonna pull it tight here, and he's gonna hold it tight while we come through the front side again. So just remember, you're always going through the back side of these holes on each side of the steering wheel. And it helps too to kind of pinch it here like this while he pulls it tight. Okay, we're ready for our next dummy stitch. So we came through the back, and we're just gonna go around the back each time again, just like normal. So don't go over the top, just always come through the back. It does get hard to see the holes from the back side because they're not punched, some of them are pretty finely punched. So you do want to just keep checking the back side here and make sure you're not missing any of them. So every one that you do from the back side, make sure you're getting a visual on it. And okay. Okay, don't miss any of them. You want to be looking at each one every time you're coming through the back side. It's hard to see. Okay, so we're coming through the back side. Okay, so on the dummy stitch, I recommend skipping about 3. So this was our last one where we had one that matched up to the back side. Okay, and so then we went dummy stitch 1, 2, and 3. So all we did was come through the back side, through the back side, through the back side. And so as you can see here, So on the back side we have 3 holes that are missing, and we're back to our 4th hole here that we're coming through. And as always, it's coming through the back side. It always comes through the back side. Okay, so now we're coming back around the front and through the back side again. Always the back side. And this is where we want to get it tight. So see how loose it got over here? So this is where you're going to want to come through and pull on this thread. See that? So I'm pulling that to get these ones tight. Like a shoelace, okay? Sometimes you gotta go back a few sometimes to pull it tight, and pull it tight again. Okay, we've gone all the way around and it looks really good. It feels tight. Okay, here's what we're gonna do now. We've matched up all the holes 1 for 1. I'm actually gonna take the needle then, because as we ended, it was coming through the back side. And so I'm gonna go back through this last backside again, but straight up. Okay, so now we have string coming up, and the string's coming up out of the center of the steering wheel on both sides. So it's coming right out of the center. So now we're just going to tie it off real tight. We're going to do 2 double knots. So just a regular knot, get it as tight as you can, and another knot on top of that. Okay, now we're just going to cut off the loose ends there. It's been tied twice. Just going to cut off the loose ends now. Now you can either cut it off with some loose hanging and then try to tuck it down in there. In this case I even just did a triple knot. And I'm just going to get in real close to it and give her a little snip. I'm as close to the knot as I can get without cutting the knot. Good enough.